Good afternoon. This is Alan Helfling from Comstock Investments here in Royal, Iowa. We're going to explain the situation with the USDA September Supply and Demand Report. We'll get right into it. Came out 11 o'clock this morning. Get over here and go there. All righty. There we are. Like I said, we'll go right to the numbers here. The surprise today was actually USDA raised the production. We raised it 0.4 of a bushel. As you can see, last month we were at 169.5, and USDA reported 169.9. Look at the numbers here. We raised the estimate a little bit. We're over 14 billion now. So that was a little bit of a surprise. And the soybeans also. You can see last month 49.4. This month, 49.9. So it caught the trade a little bit suspicious. You can see the average trade guesses, but it was within the ranges, pretty close. So go to the next page. Okay, this is the USDA ending stocks for this past year. As you can see, we raised the corn ending stocks by 25 million, and we actually lowered the ending stocks 25 million. And that's good news for the beans. Corn was a little disappointing. USDA for next year ending stock, that's this year's production. As you can see, we raised the production 62 million bushels on the corn, a carryover for next year's projected at that. Negative number, big number. Soybeans, this was, if you looked at a bright spot in the numbers that we got today, I would say the soybean carryover staying the same is probably a constructive number. Big number, however, this year 345,000, next year 475. So you can see we're raising production carryover. Wheat, they kept things the same, as you can see there. All right, world ending stocks. They did lower the corn ending stocks, soybeans ending stocks, and wheat ending stocks for last year. So that was a little bit constructive there. Next year's world ending stocks, they're raising the corn, as you can see from the previous report. They lowered the beans. That's hard to believe that they're lowering the world ending stocks. As Brazil just came off with a good soybean harvest, and looks like we're going to come out with 2 years in a row of excellent soybean harvest. So that was a little bit of a surprise, constructive anyway on that. Wheat, they actually lowered the wheat ending stocks, but the world still has plenty of wheat. All right, nothing has changed in planted acres or harvested acres yet. Just go down the numbers. You can just see what they did here. Red numbers is what they took away. Green numbers what they added. So you can see exports. They actually increased exports in corn, and that's what gave us our ending stocks of corn down 20 million bushels. That might have been a little bit of a surprise in the corn trade, but we're still dealing with a lot of corn people. Okay, next year's ending stocks, bring the carry-in over. A little interesting here. Ethanol usage, they dropped 25 million bushels, a little bit of a surprise. But anyway, the numbers are what they are. We're going to grow a carryover 62 million bushels, and that's only 15 million bushels less than this current year. Negative numbers. Soybeans kept the acres the same. They raised the exports a little bit, crushings a little bit, and they came away with ending stocks of 25 million less. That directly starts this year out. You can see production, they raised 50 million bushels. So you can just read the numbers there. And one thing that to me was surprising, by raising production, they kept the carryover the same as last month. Wheat. The wheat, they pretty well kept the same. They did keep the same. So nothing new there. Okay, I've got some charts here. First off, this is a soybean chart. It's a daily November soybean chart. And what happened today, this is the day here today. We spiked down. You can see the big pigtail here. You see the trend line here. We spiked down, broke through that pigtail, that trend line a little bit, but the market ran out of sellers down here, and we ended up having a decent close today. As you can see, we've been down the last 4 days, but I like the way we bounced off of that trend line. Pretty positive day today in the soybean close, but we got some work to do in this market, but we'll see what happens as the time unfolds here. This is a continuation daily soybean chart. You can see my red line here. That's right around 933, 930 area. That is support here. This was last year's low, down in the 854, 860 area. I don't think we got enough news to take us that low. And even going down my red line, I don't see that happening, not yet. I'm not so sure that the yield is out there yet on these beans, but we're getting closer to find that out. But support basically comes in last month's low around that 921 area in November beans. And so far for the month, we got an inside month going down. So I think the beans are well supported around 920. We just about got some beans bought today. We had ordered to buy some November beans at 934, 935 and a half. It got down to 37 and a half. So we just missed going long some soybeans and taking some profits in our hedges. We'll keep them orders working. Next slide is a corn slide. As you can see, whoops, I went the wrong way here. That's the wheat. There we go. That's a daily December corn chart. Again, we left the pigtail just like the soybeans. I like the way the corn closed today. It would have been nice if we closed higher, but obviously that didn't happen. I can see us fall into a range on this corn, 365 to 345, and I can see this range lasting for quite some time. I don't see, today before the report was released, I wasn't so sure the bottom was put in yet in the corn market. But the way we closed today, I'm about 50-50 chance of the low is probably put in now in the corn market. We'll have to see if these contract lows can hold. But like I said, I like the way we traded off the bottom. We need a good weekly close this week on the December corn. So we'll just see. But it's looking better on the charts, but we're not out of the woods yet, believe me. This is a weekly continuation corn chart. You can see the low that we put in 2 weeks ago in the corn, December corn, that September corn put that low in 328 and a quarter. That will be support. September goes off the board on Friday, no longer trades, and December will be lead month. So December corn will have support at 344 and a half, their contract low, and then again at 328 and a half. So I can't rule out December corn possibly getting to 328, but we'll see how it pans out. But I think we got good support around this 330 to 340 area in corn. We'll just see how we trade the rest of the month here coming out forward. Okay, this is a wheat chart, a daily July, I believe. Yes, a dated July wheat chart. I got to find it again. I just lost it. There it is. And wheat actually had an outside day up. We haven't had one of them for a while. If you remember 2 weeks ago, we had a key reversal on the continuation weekly chart. So this is all good news for the wheat. The charts don't show it that we put a low in. But once again, a constructive close in the July wheat. We actually got some wheat bought in July around 476 and a half is where our target was, and we got filled on that. So a very good close on the wheat. I want to show you the S&P. This is a continuous wheat chart. Excuse me. This is a monthly continuous wheat chart. You can see that we made a high back in July. and we come off it. We went traded above this major trend line, but we closed back below it by end of July. So this intermediate trend line here now is what's going to be resistance, and so is that long-term. The wheat looks like it's trying to put a bottom in here, but wheat is still struggling with the carryover, just like corn. However, we are shrinking the wheat carryover in the U.S. and in the world, but it's a huge number, and we got to work our way through it. However, I do see some support coming in December wheat in the wheat market. Basically, the trade has to decide if it wants to lose acres to some other crop, or if it has to keep the price high enough where we can get this winter wheat crop planted. I see support with today's low. I look for this wheat market to trade slightly higher. I don't know if we can go back and break our summer highs until next spring or summer itself, but I think the wheat market is in pretty good support here. So my next one is the S&P. This is the daily S&P 500 chart. You can see that we made new contract highs yesterday and today. We're getting oversold or overbought in this market. And I'll show you the weekly. This is a monthly S&P chart. People think that the S&P is looking toppy. You'd have to go to a monthly S&P chart, and it really shows up. The monthly RSI is at 75.5. It's just overbought monthly, and I'm looking for a correction to come in here at any time. We'll probably come out with a reco next week to probably get back into some type of December put on the S&P, because our September will expire Friday at no value. We bought a 2,400 put for 16 points, and we're going to let that go ahead and expire. But anyway, I look for a correction in the S&P. To sum things up today, like I said, I like the way the grain markets closed off their lows. I really would like to see the market have a decent weekly close. I don't know if we'll close higher for the week, but today's lows are crucial in the grains. In the corn market, we did get a 370 July call bought for 25 cents. We're looking to add to that. I think that's a good value for that. We also are trying to sell a 350 July put for 15 cents against that. I believe the low today was around 11 cents, but we'll give it some time before we jump on a put. Like I said, we got long some wheat. We also got long a July 690 January call. We did pay 25 cents for that, but we may be either selling a call above the market against that or a put. So just stay in touch with us with our trade page. We make quite a few recos on a weekly basis. We make quite a few trades. If you have any questions, you can call us at these numbers. And anything, if you have any questions, give us a call here. But like I said, it was a constructive day today, the way the market's closed. The hog market, just didn't have any charts for the hog market, but the hog market is struggling. October took out the previous low. I'm concerned about that. But we'll have to see how we play out. But just keep posted on the trade page. So signing out from Royal, Iowa. We'll see you later. All right. Bye.